Hello and Assalamu alaikum viewers. This is your host Farhan Iqbal and you're watching NewsPoint. So in today's video, I am going to talk about the next express entry draw. We will look at the pool data and then towards the end of the video, I will make my forecast that what kind of draw it's going to be. We are hoping that there would be a draw next Wednesday, as now we have seen the pretty much a standard pattern that draws are happening every second Wednesday. So the expectation is that there will be a draw next week on Wednesday. Okay, so without further ado, let's take a look at the data and see how many people are there in each range and what is happening with the number of people who are applying to Canada. Over here I have data all the way from the beginning of the year and even prior to that, all the way till 10th June when the last draw happened. It was a Thursday, and the last draw which happened, it was a CEC only draw. The cutoff for the last draw, which was 368, the draw previous to that was 380 and 397. So it's about dropping 17 to 15 points or 12 points every time CEC draw is happening. After that, let's take a look at the numbers in each range. So 601 to 1200, which is the PNP category, which I keep on saying sometimes that we should even ignore, because all these people, they do not have to worry about the cutoff. When the draw happens, they get their ITAs. So last time when the data was published on 7th June, this number was sitting at 747. But we noticed that when the draw actually happened on 9th June, more than 900 ITAs were issued for PNP people. So very high number of people got PNP nominations in these 2 weeks. Basically, they did not get the PNP nominations now, but they submitted all their documents and got ready in these 2 weeks. And then ITAs are issued more than 900 people. We have never seen this high number of PNP people ever. And I mentioned in my video that one of the reasons could be that so many people would have been eligible for 1 year experience. So more people would have applied during this time. I'm not sure what are the exact reason. Anyways, next category 501 to 600, very high scoring category. Right now we have 1948 people, nearly 2000 people, 247 more than what we saw when the data was published last time. The next is 491 to 500. Again, these people are in a very high scoring category. They just have to wait for the draw. When the FSW draw happens, all of these people will be cleared because the cutoff would definitely be lower than 490. So in this category, we have 1123 people. Obviously, some of these people would be CEC and they would have got ITAs when the ITAs were issued. Obviously, some of these 1123 people would have been CEC who would have got their ITAs on 10th June. But still this number is 103 higher than what we saw last time. 481 to 490, about 3300 people. 291 more than what we saw last time. So over here holistically I have summed up from 481 to 600 only, because as I mentioned, PNP people, we can just simply ignore them. We should not even take them in consideration when we are talking about the cutoff. So 6300 people are here. So that is why I mentioned that if the next draw happens for FSW people and about 6000 ITAs are issued, and I am hoping that the ITAs issued would actually be more than 6000, because we have been seeing 6000 plus PNP. So when the FSW draw happen, I would assume 6500 to 7000 ITAs would be issued. So the cutoff would be closer to 481, 482, depending how many ITAs are issued and obviously how many new people apply between now till next Wednesday. In 471 to 480, we have 9100 people, 631 more than what we saw last time. So again, this week or these 2 weeks, we have seen actually much more people applying than they were applying earlier. Over here, I have done a comparison of how many people increased in this category in the past 2 weeks. So that is 1272. From 471 to 600, 1272 people increased in past 2 weeks. This is one of the highest since we are recording, because last time it was 302. Before that it was actually a decrease because the draw happened. The data was published only 7 days after. Over here we had 1267, which is actually similar to 1272. But it is one of the very higher side that more than 1200 people increased in 471 to 600 category. But still this is very low, because last year we noticed when the FSW draws were happening in the beginning of last year before the pandemic, when the FSW draws were happening, we noticed that even 4000 ITAs were being issued but CRS score was not coming down below 471. So that means at that time 4,000 people higher than 471 were applying every 2 weeks. Now that number has come down to a 1/3 or even less, only to 1,272, and that is also on the higher side. So if the next draw is going to be FSW, then the cutoff would be around 482. And if for some reason they issue a large number of ITS because the FS draw is happening after a very long time, it would be happening after a very long time if it happens next time, then it could be a little lower, maybe closer to 475, 477, something like that. But I believe that the ITS would be issued around 6,000 to 7,000 only, probably not the 10,000, especially in the FS draw when it happens. Now coming back to the big questions, that what are the odds that the next draw would be FSW draw versus whether the next draw would be a PNP-CEC only draw. So I believe the odds are around 40% that it would be an FSW draw. In previous videos I was leaning towards 50-50, but now I would say that looking at the situation, I think it's probably 40%. It's less than 50% definitely. Until next time, this is your host Farhan Iqbal signing off. Assalam.